What's up YouTube, it's Chris here. I'm going to read this week's chapter of Naruto, and Naruto has left me with so many different emotions right now. First of all, we all know Naruto's going to end quite soon, right? And yet they've given us so much more. There's so much more things to speculate about. It's actually quite funny. I mean, a couple of weeks, well, last week we got the introduction of the Sage's brother, and now we have the. Well, I want to say the confirmed origin of the Byakugan, but we get a hint at where the Byakugan possibly came from. We see that the mother of the sage, Kyuga, she actually had the Byakugan as well as the Sharingan. But I've got my own theories behind, that. I personally think that the Byakugan was already her Kekkei. I mean, she probably came from a clan that already had the Byakugan, or she was the first person to actually. I mean, some of these unique traits are actually born from mutation. She might have been the first person to mutate these eyes, and then after she ate the fruit from the tree, she probably acquired even more power by gaining the Sharingan. Because if you look at it, the Sharingan she actually had is in her forehead, which seems to be, I mean, it's not like the classical Sharingan that we know and love. She had a ripple pattern in the Sharingan, which is very similar to the Rinnegan. So I just think that she probably had the Byakugan before, ate the fruit, then she gained all these slew of new abilities. And in terms of, how this actually got passed into the Hyuga clan that we know now, I'm more leaning towards that she had two sons. One was born the Rinnegan, and one was born with possibly the Byakugan, which is obviously her dominant trait, if you're going by my speculation and, my theory. So that's how I'm thinking the Byakugan came to be. But I mean, that's what I'm talking about. In general, so many more things have been revealed, and it's just that it's so weird to think that the manga's ending so soon when they have so much more stuff they can actually delve into, create new stories from, maybe having a whole arc dedicated to the Hyuga clan, what they've done in the past, how they've lived, how they became a part of Konoha, their origins, because we don't know nothing about the Hyuga clan. They're all shrouded in mystery. So a lot of people will be happy to see a story like that. I'll be happy, because then we have characters like Hinata coming to the forefront and having an arc, dedicated to not only her but her entire clan. So that'd be really cool. But in general, that was a highlight of the chapter. Another highlight was the artwork. The artwork was gorgeous in this chapter, really well drawn. Not to mention that it was paced perfectly. The writing was, there was a few dodgy translations here and there, but it was nonetheless a really good chapter. The most standout panels for me were the panels where you see, Naruto the Sage surrounded by the tailed beast, basically. That was really cool, well drawn, so detailed. The other standout panel was a panel at the end where we see Naruto and Sasuke side by side, gaining power from the Sage. That's a really cool panel as well. And to touch on that a little bit, I really appreciate how Kishimoto introduced Sasuke in this chapter, or integrated him into the whole aspect of speaking with the Sage, because he could have done the route, to do padding, where we had Naruto talking to the Sage and he dedicates a whole chapter of Sasuke talking to the Sage. But no, what he's done here is that we see that both of them are on the brink of death as we know it. They're both talking to the Sage at the same time. How he illustrates this is by gradually doing it in a way where it's seamless, where he's talking to Naruto, but then you can kind of see that the same questions that he poses to Naruto, he's also asking Sasuke the same thing as well. And whereas they're both giving similar answers, it's illustrated so well in this chapter. But you do leave a lot of questions, whereas were the questions you asked Sasuke, were they exactly the same questions that were asked to Naruto, and vice versa? Because I don't see Sasuke reacting the same way Naruto would. There's a couple of the questions that were asked, whereas when he said Naruto was talking about friendship, then he segued into Sasuke. Was Sasuke actually saying, yeah, I am doing this with my friends, I am all these people, I'm fan for these people? Is that what Sasuke was referring to, or was it a different question that was posed to him? So, that's something to wonder about. But the general gist of it I'm getting is that they were both pretty much on the same line. We can see that the Sage was talking to him about Indra, whereas he was talking to Naruto about Ashura. So yeah, that's cool. And that was, they seemed like there wasn't a lot, but there was so much more to the chapter. You just have to read it to kind of absorb everything that's happening. Yeah, we do get the reveal at the end that Guy and Madara are still going at it. happy to see that Madara's taking some damage, even though the sick bastard is actually enjoying it. He's actually still saying, you know, do you want to have another dance? Can you keep going? I'm lucky. I mean, he has that shit-eating grin on his face that shows that he's actually enjoying the chaos and the battle right now. So that's cool. Obviously, Guy is a bit, he's under pressure because he has a limit to how long he can, you know, hold 8 gate, as well as Madara doesn't seem to be going down. So he looks like he's resorting to his final technique, the Night Die or the Night Moth, you know, based on which translation that you read. I think the Night Moth sounds more appropriate because so far everything has been animal themed, whereas Night Guy is just a bit, it just ends basically the tradition of having, you know, tiger, elephant, moth, and peacock kind of thing. So that seemed more like it made more sense to me. But yeah, we also, another awesome thing that gets explained is the Renegade and how it came to be again in the modern world, because Renegade was supposed to have died with the Sage of Six Paths, right? And then we have Madara reawaken or bring the Renegade back to current times, basically. Well, in Naruto times anyway. How this was achieved was that we all originally thought that the Renegade came about by adding the Uchi and the Senju DNA, hitting them together, you get a Renegade. No, actually, the Renegade was created because Madara and the first Hokage, or the reincarnation of Indra and Asura of their time anyway, Madara having Indra's chakra and taking Ashura's chakra, which was inside of the first Hokage, fusing them together, he actually created the Sage of Six Paths chakra again, which allowed him to reawaken or to create his own Renegade. So that is just awesome to think that he done that all by himself. He stuttering, but he created a Renegade again for himself. And it's not just something based. So I'm thinking that not just any Uchiha and not just any Senju can come together and make a Renegade. No, it needs to be someone who has have a direct link to the Sage, which is his sons basically. That's the only way you can remake a Sharingan. Sorry, to remake a Renegade. And it does make sense somewhat, because why hasn't Obito reawakened a Renegade? Yeah, you can make the argument that he hasn't been on the end of his life or something, or it took Madara like years to be able to reawaken it, but still, Obito's been on the brink of death many times, no Renegade yet. So it just makes more sense to see that it's a direct link to the Sage. That's the only way you can actually remake a Renegade again. So that's cool. But overall, it was a really awesome chapter. So much more things to speculate about. Can't wait for next week's chapter. Can't wait to see where the story goes. Even though I hope that they, I don't know. There's so much more stuff, so much more questions now. I hope that they don't leave them unanswered. You know, what happened to the Sage's brother? You know, where did the Hyuga clan come from? I hope they delve into these little questions before they actually end the story. But in general, awesome chapter. I felt to rate it, 10 out of 10. I enjoyed it immensely. So yeah, if you like the review, leave a thumbs up and let me know what you thought of the chapter as well. And any things you're speculating about. What do you think? Where do you think how the Byakugan came to be? Did it start with Kyuga, or was it or son that she carried it on? Just let me know what you think of the chapter. Anyway, take care, guys.